Shalom, shalom. Before I start, I want to give all honors and glories and praises to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Mahawakwadash, Yahweh, which is the one only true name of the Heavenly Father, Yahushai, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, but his one true name is Yahushai. I would like to give double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, because those are the men who I've learned this truth from through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Peace, blessings, salutations to the hopeful elect. And shalom to you, sincere brothers scattered abroad, pushing forth this word in truth and sincerity. I am the brother Mashiach, Irazakah, from the servants of Yahweh Yahweh Shai camp. And pretty much this lesson is going to be titled as Correction to Israelites Only Being Negroid Descent. All right, because you got Jakes out there, Israelites out there, that teach that Israelites are only Negroid descent, when that is not true. All right, you had Israelite men that popped heathen women, and had sex with them and brought forth children. All right, so we're gonna bring this out. Israelites are not only Negroid descent. You're going off. All right, so Lord wants us is edifying. This is a quick hitter. 1 Samuel 16:7. It says, "But the Lord said unto Samuel," and this is what the Lord said unto Samuel, all right? "Look not on his countenance or on the height of his stature, because I have refused him. For the Lord seeth not as man seeth, for men looketh on the outward appearance." What does that mean? You got Israelite men, they'll say they're at camp, they'll go by and see a person that looks like an Edomite, and then they automatically just say, "Oh, he's an Edomite, he's white, he's an Edomite, he's a heathen," not knowing that you have to bear the spirit to try his spirit. The scriptures say, "Try the spirits." All right, you have to try a particular individual's spirit. All right, because you don't know who's an Israelite and who isn't. You can't just go and just say, "Oh, he's a heathen because he has pale skin." That doesn't mean that he's a heathen. He can be an Israelite. So, one thing that we learned from the elders and apostles of Great Millstone is to not judge on the outward appearance. It's because an individual has blonde hair, blue eyes, freckles, probably be looking paler than Eminem or paler than Blake Griffin, that he's a heathen. And that's not necessarily true. You got Israelites out there that look like a heathen, but they an Israelite. Their father could be a so-called Negro, Hispanic, or Native American Indian. All right. So you can't just go and just point and just say, "Oh, he's a heathen," because you don't know. You got to try that particular individual spirit. All right. The spirit bear witness. It says, "For what?" It says, "For man looketh on the outward appearance, but the Lord looketh on the heart." Right. The Lord looketh on the spirit. You can't just go off an individual's outward appearance. You can't do that. All right. That's why the Lord told Samuel that. So it goes and that applies to us. We can't just look at a particular individual and just automatically say he's a heathen. You can't do that. You got to go by the spirit. All right. Let me get that out. See, it's in the scriptures. Everything I'm saying is in the scriptures. See, but you bugged out individual Jakes. Y'all just go and just assume a particular individual is a heathen, and you can't be doing that. Romans 8:16. "The Spirit itself beareth witness with our spirit that we are the children of the Most High." Right. So we go by the spirit of a particular individual to see if their spirit will, agree with the truth. If let's say if we're at camp and we see a so-called person that looks like a so-called white man, and we ask them what's his nationality, normally they'll probably say I'm white, or they could probably say I'm British or Irish or whatever that is, because the Israelites, you had Israelites, the Irish are originally Israelites, all right? The Europeans is originally Israelites, all right? Originally Israelites when you go into the secular history, but they've conquered and switched over and put themselves up as the Europeans, because the true Europeans, going into circular history of certain dynasties, were Israelites in those regions, was originally Israelites, all right? So when we look at a particular individual that look white, and we ask him what's his nationality, and he say he's European, or if he say he's Irish, he could be an Israelite, all right? So we try him according to the scriptures, giving the prophecy of the curses of the Israelites, giving him the try to see if he'll understand the true name of the Lord, This is not. Now, if that so-called person that look white agree with this truth, and wants to know this truth, and he agrees with everything, you know, hey, he wants to come to this truth, he could be an Israelite. That's the main point. He could be an Israelite because only an Israelite is going to want to do the will of Yahweh Bashim Ashai. And we can't stop any individual from teaching this truth that look like another nation because he could be a Jake. That's why the Lord said the Spirit beareth witness. So you can't just go up and just say, oh, you're an Edomite, you're a heathen, you're going to be put to death because you don't know if he's an Israelite or not. You don't know if his daddy is a so-called Negro, Hispanic, or Native American Indian. So it's always a good thing. Make sure when you are at camp that you always ask an individual what's their nationality. If he say he a European, that doesn't mean that he's automatically a so-called white man. He could be an Israelite. If he say Irish, he could be an Israelite. You can't just go and just say, oh, you're a heathen. Oh, you're European, you're a heathen. Because that's not necessarily true. He could be an Israelite. That individual could be an Israelite. All right, there's stories that I've heard when I first came into the truth where you had individuals automatically judging somebody, calling them a heathen, an Edomite, they were put to death. And they said, well, how am I put to death? You guys said that a so-called Negro is of the tribe of Judah. I'm an Israelite. And then the particular individual's like, no, you're not an Israelite. You're white. You're Edomite. You're white. He said, well, I can show you my dad right now. And this individual that pointed the finger at the so-called pale white person trying to call him white and a demon, he's going to be put to death. That individual showed him a picture of his father, and his father was a so-called Negro. His mom was white, and his daddy was a so-called Negro. But he took more features of his mom. So he had blonde hair, blue eyes, and all that. And he showed those particular individuals his picture, and his daddy was black. You don't want to be feeling stupid like that. All right? That's why you don't judge off the outward appearance, because you could look dumb in front of millions of people. So don't judge off the outward appearance. You got to go by the spirit. We don't know who exactly of what tribe everyone is. All right? As we discontinue from our heritage. And Salakia for the rambling, I'm going to get that out. It's Jeremiah 17:4. It says, and thou even thyself shalt discontinue from thine heritage that I gave thee. Right, the Lord discontinued us from our heritage. So we're scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. So everybody's not going to look the same. Everybody's not going to have the same skin tone. Everybody's not going to have the same features, the same height, the same build. No, we are different shades of brown. All right, we're different shades of brown. Everybody's not going to be all looking the same color. No. All right, you got Israelites different shades of brown, man. All right, because you got these Israelites pushing this black power movement thing. Every Israelite, if you got to be dark skinned or you got to look a particular way to be Israelite, no, it don't work like that. All right, you can't be doing that. It says, and I will cause thee to serve thine enemies in a land which thou knowest not. Right, the Lord discontinued us from our heritage. We forgot our heritage, our land, who we are as a people, our nationality, our language. The Lord took all that away from us because we were disobedient. We broke the old covenant. We didn't keep the laws, statutes, and commandments. All right. It says, for ye have kindled a fire in mine anger, which shall burn forever. And this is what happened to us. All right. So we were our heritage was taken from us due to disobedience. So like it, due to disobedience. This is Deuteronomy 28:64. All right. Proving that. So you can't judge on the outward appearance of a particular individual, calling him a heathen, because you don't know who his father is. His father could be a so-called Negro, Hispanic, Native American Indian. You don't judge off the outward appearance. Deuteronomy 28:64, and the Lord shall scatter thee among all people. So the Lord created 18 nations, but he's only dealing with one specific nation out of the 18. Those are the Israelites, which consists of the 12 tribes. Those 12 tribes are scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, from one end of the earth even onto the other. They're scattered abroad. So you got Israelites everywhere. You got Israelites everywhere, speckled birds. You got Israelites that look like heathens, but they're not heathens. That's why you cannot judge on the outward appearance when you're in this truth. You can't do that. It says, and the Lord shall scatter thee among all people from one end of the earth even unto the other. See, the Israelites are scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. So you got Israelites that look like heathens. You got Israelites that look like Arabs, that look like Chinese, look Japanese, but they are Jake. You got Israelites that look like, you got Israelites that's in Vietnam. Due to those Jakes going to Vietnam and popping those Vietnamese women, you got Israelites over there. All right? They looking like Rehoboam, who I'm going to get an example of. Because Rehoboam, his mother was an Ammonitess, which is a so-called Japanese woman if she was dwelling on the earth today. So you got you got Israelites that scattered abroad that look like a heathen, but they're not a heathen. You can't be judging on outward appearance. It says, and there shall serve other gods, which neither nor thy fathers, it says, nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone. Right. So these are curses that was put upon us. We're scattered abroad throughout the four corners of the earth. We started worshiping idols, etc. These are the curses that was put upon us due to being disobedient to our power, breaking the old covenant. So you got Israelites out there that scattered abroad, literally scattered abroad. All right, James, I believe it's James 1, 1:1. This is James 1:1. It's like this is James 1:1. It says, James, a servant of Yahweh and of the Lord Hamashiach Yahushai, to the 12 tribes. Who are the 12 tribes? The 12 tribes of the nation of Israel who are scattered abroad throughout the four corners of the earth. You got speckled birds. So you got Israelites, which consists of the 12 tribes, so-called Negro, Hispanic, Native American Indians. The so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native American Indians are scattered abroad. And you got Israelites that look like heathens, but they not. They Israelites, due to the seed line of their father. It doesn't matter about the mother. It says, which are scattered abroad, greeting, right? So you got Israelites that scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. So you can't just judge off the outward appearance of a particular individual. You can't do that. All right? You can't do that. And here's an example, because you got these Israelites out here that has that doctrine. Negro only descent. Oh, you got to be dark skinned to be an Israelite. You can't look like this. You can't look like you're a heathen. Only all the Israelites are black. All the Israelites are the 12 tribes. Black. You bugged out. You bugged out. You fucking bugged out. This is 1 Kings 14:21. And Rehoboam, and who was Rehoboam? Rehoboam was the son of King Solomon. All right. Rehoboam was the son of King Solomon. King Solomon was what? A Judite. His father was who? David. All right. So you need to understand that. So if Solomon's dad is David, and David's son is Solomon, and Solomon's son is Rehoboam, who does he go back to? David, the seed line of who? Judah. So you got Israelites out there that look like heathens, but they go back to their father. Rehoboam's mother was an Ammonite. And I'm going to read right here. 1 Kings 14:21. And Rehoboam, the son of Solomon, because Solomon's father was who? King David. King David was of what? The line of Judah. It says reigned in Judah. All right. So Rehoboam, whose mother was an Ammonitess, all right, he was king in Jerusalem. All right. So he was an Israelite, but he probably had, just give it a perfect example, he probably looked at like Bruce Lee in the face. Probably, olive tone color, whatever type color it is. It don't matter about the color, but just giving an example. He probably had a face like Bruce Lee, just giving an example. And he probably had a olive tone. It says, and Rehoboam, the son of Solomon, reigned in Judea. Rehoboam was 41 years old when he began to reign, so he became king in Jerusalem. All right. It says, and he reigned 17 years in Jerusalem. See, the city which the Lord chose out of all the tribes of Israel. And Rehoboam's mother was a Ammonitess. Rehoboam's mother. So he got chosen out of all the tribes of Israel to be king of Judah, to be king over Jerusalem. It says out of all the tribes of Israel to put his name there, and his mother's name was Naamah, and Ammonitis. Ammonitis is a so-called Japanese woman. All right. So King Solomon had intimacy with a heathen woman and had a son with that heathen woman, and his name was Rehoboam. So he was an Israelite. So again, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter about the mother, because you got Jakes pushing that doctrine. Your mother got to be an Israelite. Your dad got to be an Israelite to be a full Israelite. No, the fuck, that doesn't work. It doesn't work like that. What about Father Abraham? What about Joseph? What about Moses? Moses' wife was a Cushite. She wasn't an Israelite. She was a Cushite, and she bare him who? Gershom. All right. Gershom's father was Moses, and his mom was a Cushite. So you can't judge on the outward appearance, man. You cannot judge on the outward appearance. So I just wanted to prove that point. I just want to do a quick hitter on that. I want to give all honors and glories and praises to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Yahweh Kakodash, and double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Peace, blessings, salutations to the hopeful elect, Shalom to you, sincere brothers scattered abroad, pushing forth this word in truth and sincerity. I am the brother Mashiach Arazakah from the Servants of Yahweh Yahushai Camp, Las Vegas, Nevada branch. And pretty much, yeah, man, you can't judge on the outward appearance, all right, of any particular individual. You have to go by the spirit. You can't go off his eye color. You can't go off his skin tone. You can't tell a dude, well, you got blonde hair, blue eyes, you a demon, you a devil, you going to be destroyed. You can't say that. You cannot judge on the outward appearance of a particular individual. You have to go by the spirit. All right, you have to go by the spirit, because the rest of these Israelite groups are doing that. It's because somebody has pale skin and blonde hair and blue eyes, that don't necessarily mean that they're a heathen, because they could be an Israelite. So, Lord willing, the steps was edifying. All right, till the next time I say, Shalom.